are gathered here today to bear witness to our dear departed Leo Force. He was so young and so strong in his prime. It was a real shame that he had to pass on from us.
I'm not dead yet.
Holy shit, its spirit is talking to us.
Yes,
Fuck
indeed.
you guys, that's what's called the internet. And for the
Hello.
record, it's Iowa, not Ohio, you fuckers.
I corrected him on that. I had your
I
back.
know, but I want to set the record absolutely straight.
Fine. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Legend Hunters Podcast Season 2.
And welcome back, Leo Force, to the channel.
Yes, I'm back. Well, at least in some part, anyway.
Yeah, we at least managed to drag your ass away from law school so you can actually help us with the podcast.
No, this is just the magic of Skype.
Very true.
All right, so how's it been over there in Iowa?
Let me tell you, it's been really different and really interesting. The biggest, it's definitely different weather-wise. It's comfortably in the mid-60s around here, and people are still in jeans and shorts, so...
Oh,
the
really?
humidity helps out quite a bit.
Huh.
Ah.
At the same time, it's also filled with corn, so you might have a case of allergies the first couple of days you're up here.
Ah, I see.
So, I recommend eating some of the local honey that actually helps you with allergies,
Well,
from what I hear.
the corn. Eat the corn, it helps.
Eat the corn.
That's
Yeah,
all.
there's nothing
That's
but
all
corn
Iowa and
up here.
Ohio are is corn.
No, it's not.
Well,
Okay.
a majority of it is. I can say that firsthand.
Eh.
All right.
And
So,
otherwise, on a more video game related front, I've been doing a lot of. I did a lot of stuff since I got up here. Mostly Dark Souls 2 related things.
gee,
Ah.
that's a surprise.
Well, I've also been doing a little bit of everything from Far Cry 3, Street Fighter 3, Sly 3, a lot of 3s recently.
Huh. Well, you are a third member, so it makes sense.
All right.
Otherwise, I can't say that I've done much else. There's probably a lot more than I'm summing it up, but I'm just trying to keep everything brief.
All right. So, Legend, how has your week been?
Well,
How has it been since the last podcast?
how do I say this? I think we've mentioned it maybe in a couple of our recordings, but basically it's been manic. I've been writing basically non-stop, several short stories after short stories, and I actually had a very interesting case where the teacher actually gave me half credit for one of the short stories that I wrote before he read it again, finally understood it, I think, and then gave me full credit.
Wow.
So, yeah. It's been very, very busy and hectic. I've barely had time for games, but when I do, I go out and I murder some monsters in Monster Hunter.
Oh yes, you've been loving to show me all the different monsters and stuff in the game.
Yeah, and I can't get enough of this game. It's a phenomenal game. But if I'm not playing Monster Hunter, I'm picking up little gems like, I don't know, a certain explosive vital vitriol.
Come on.
Someone who left quite a big mark in his explosive wake. It was a chemical explosion of phenomenal proportions.
We get it! Plague Knight is awesome!
Oh yes, of course it is.
I can't believe you didn't get the joke!
For some reason, I was thinking of another game.
Well, that would be on your end. How has it been with you, Zero? English. Use it. It's a language and it works.
YouTube is a pile of shit.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. So...
And yet we continue to use it.
Yes, because it's the only other media outlet out there, because Blip is dead.
Well, I detect conspiracy. But anyway.
Anyway, so, yeah, when we tried to upload our Vesperia Let's Play, shit happened. We got a copyright claim from, I'm just going to say it, fuck you, Warner Music Group.
Ooh.
Well, as it turns out, Warner Music Group is not just a piece of shit for just being a pain in our ass, but collectively in the asses of most of the media.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. I did a little bit of research. Zero brought this to my attention early in beginning of September, so I did a little bit of research on the Warner Media Group.
Oh, really?
Warner
Do
Music
tell,
Group
do
is
tell.
probably is the actual name. So these guys are pretty much pains in the asses. For starters, they hate YouTube.
Oh, really?
In
Feelings
fact,
mutual.
back in 2008, they apparently continuously blocked and muted videos on YouTube that featured anything made by them.
Oh.
Even though A number of artists weren't even signed to the company, and B, the artists have the right to promote it.
Oh, really?
Really now?
And although most of the majorities were not official content, they include small recordings that are normally covered by fair use, but they still don't give a fuck.
So, with regard to the Warner Group,
They also have a distinct hatred of the music video games, particularly Rock Band in particular.
oh, really?
Who, when Rock Band came out, boycotted any and all, made a claim that they were going to boycott any music from Warner Music Group, but that eventually fell out. They also have other things where they continually censored their own artists over unusual reasonings.
Holy fuck!
Rejected a release an album by one of their artists just because the music was metal.
Are you serious?
Said that they would stop licensing their songs to free streaming services. And cherry on the top, supported SOPA.
Well.
So we're basically dealing with internet Nazis, basically.
This is the if there
If I'm
ever
invoking
was
Darwin's law.
a YouTube devil, I would say this would be them.
Yeah.
So, what are our chances of us actually getting the copyright strike off our videos?
Well, keep in mind this isn't a copyright strike yet.
No,
The deal
it's
is
just
that
a
if we
monetary
appeal
claim
it
on our
again-
videos, which pisses me off.
The deal is if we appeal it again, it will become a copyright strike.
Mhm.
Now, as Zero and Legend have said many times before, I am refer to me as an attorney in training. I am not an attorney, but I am a law student.
Mhm.
And there's a number of ways this can be resolved.
Okay.
The easiest way for us to resolve it without dealing with them anymore is that you guys have to talk through your entire LP as much as possible, and you have to speak up during music.
Or completely turn the volume off.
Well, that was going to be my second option, which was you do that.
But that would completely ruin the ambience of the game.
Now, speaking not as an attorney and as Leo Force, there is a third option that we can do, and this is just to be an ass.
Oh?
We can go. I would like to see you guys do a what's it called? I basically want you guys to sing the opening.
Sing the opening?
Hell
Yes.
no!
Oh.
Well, then it becomes I'm trying to remember, but basically because if you sing it, because it's your voice and you're just doing a cover, it's much more of a pain in the ass to deal with legally.
I like it.
I like it, but the problem is that would mean us re-recording the entire Let's Play, and we're already 9 episodes
Well, you could just
in.
couldn't you just like sing the song yourself and then just cover it over the video and then re-upload the video?
You want to give me more work?
Well,
Do you want to continue doing the Let's Play?
No.
yes.
God damn it, Legend. I do not want to continue this Let's Play.
We've got several episodes on backlog that are just sitting there rotting in their box.
Well, if you guys want to do it, then you still have to deal with these fuckers.
I don't want
If
to
you don't want to
deal
do
with
it,
them.
then you don't have to do it. That's the easiest thing actually is to not do it.
Yeah, that's it. I do not want to give them the option of getting money off of me. And the fact that they are basically Internet Hitler...
Internet Devil. No, not Internet Hitler, Internet Devil.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, they're worse.
Yeah. Oh, fair point, fair point. Yeah, I'd rather not give them the time of day and just try to forget they existed, so...
Well, that's how Hitler took over Poland.
We're not Hitler anymore, remember? They're Satan.
No, but it's the same spawn of. It's the same seed.
Can we go
The
ahead?
same
Can we
dripping,
move the Hitler,
wet
the Hitler
piece
and the
of
devil analogy,
sludge.
please?
Ay. What were you saying, Leo? I think legend overtook ya.
I was trying to say, can we please skip the Hitler demon analogy and let's move on to what actually happened in your week?
Fine. Let's see. What else has been going on my week? Well, I had been playing Shovel Knight, Plague of Shadows as well. Just kind of suck at it.
I beat it. I got all
You
the
already
coins.
beat it?
Yeah, and I got all the coins too.
Dang.
So fuck, we can actually start a Let's Play of it right away.
And then have that taken down by a copyright strike.
No, it won't.
And then give up on that channel too.
Hey. Seriously?
Now Yacht Club is much more supportive of their products than Warner Brother.
Yeah, they haven't taken down our Shovel Knight Let's Play.
Not until like.
And they didn't flag our Dark Souls video when we played the Tinker Knight music.
Well, FromSoft is also pretty chill with its IP, so that's probably a good reason too.
Yeah, thankfully.
So once either Legend buys an Xbox, a PS4, or you go ahead and Xbox One. It's on Xbox One too, right?
Bloodborne?
Yes.
No, Bloodborne's only exclusively to Sony.
Okay, so you do need to get a PS4.
They wanted their nice, shiny exclusive.
Yeah.
Well,
And
to be fair, Xbox was kind of a dick.
they still are. I'm actually considering dropping Xbox entirely and going straight into PS4 for good.
Yeah, I was gonna say once either Legend gets a PS4 or Zero beats Bloodborne, you guys can start doing it. I have I'm rooming with three people. One of them is an international student who is always traveling, so I don't see him. But one of the other ones has a PS4, so I've been doing a little bit of Bloodborne myself.
Oh, that's good. How far are you up to? Because so far for
Not
me...
much. I just went going around the first area. I haven't really... I'm trying to start off with a different build than just going straight for strength builds.
So have you beaten the Cleric Beast yet?
No, I haven't. I have a very little amount of time on it just because I've been busy.
I actually have a funny story about something that happened earlier that I just remembered. With regard to getting a PS4.
Oh yeah, you tried to get one.
Yeah, I went to the GameStop and I saw what I thought was the holy grail of used PS4 games sitting there, right there in the middle of the GameStop.
Oh really?
And I was like, holy shit, they actually marked it down. It's actually under $500.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I might even be able to get a game with this too. I looked at my saves, and then I talked to my accountant.
AKA your sister.
Yes. And she talked me out of it. Days later, my sister lets me know that one of her other friends went to that very GameStop to pick up this used PS4 and had to return it because it was broke as shits.
Wow.
So yeah, I dodged a bullet there. As painful as it is, get your PS4 used. Don't get your PS4 used. Get them new.
Yeah. Or wait for the 1 terabyte version.
1
Yeah,
terabyte.
given the way some of these, given the way some of the games have been coming out, wait for the 1 terabyte version. The install file for Fallout 4 is supposed to be ranking at 28 gigabytes.
At 20 what?
20 gigabytes for the install
28
file.
gigabytes.
28 gigabytes.
Yeah, if I recall, Bloodborne was like 15 gigabytes to download.
Well, that's...
And the normal PS4 is like 500
Correct.
500 gigabytes.
Yes.
So eventually, I might actually consider trading in my PS4 for the 1 terabyte version. And if that's the case, then well, we'll see what happens.
Alright.
But oh look, I think I actually got the sound. Nope, the sound's still kind of flipping up, but it's still good. And let's see, what else has been going on with me?
Oh, we're still in your week.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I keep getting interrupted. Let's see. There is another game that I've been playing, but I will save that for later for the Indie Horror Corner.
Alright.
So with that, I guess it's time to get on to the actual news.
Alright, so this rocked the Pokeverse quite a bit since the announcement of freaking I would say since Hoopla Unbound came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because just everything has an alternate form nowadays with X and Y since Mega.
Yeah. And to be honest, Zygarde, our featured Pokemon of the alternate form, was never that interesting.
Yeah, it was just a snake that looked like it looked like a hexadecimal snake.
Except now Zygarde is confirmed to be Cell.
Yes!
Quite-
In a manner of speaking.
Just like how Mewtwo was Frieza, Zygarde is Cell. How long till we get Majin Buu?
We have
Another 9
Jigglypuff,
generations.
Chansey, Blissey.
Fair enough, fair enough. Every normal type from Gen 1, basically.
Well, a lot of those normal types became fairy types, but that's gonna be saved for the normal type review.
Anyway, so Zygarde has not just one form, which we were familiar with, but actually 4 forms.
First off, we got the Zygarde core.
Which is basically the soul of the Zygarde. There is no Zygarde without the core.
Multiple cores come together to form the brain.
Well, it was one core, and then it draws in several other smaller versions of itself,
Called Zygarde cells.
and then that starts creating new critters.
First off, we have Zygarde 10%.
Yeah, 10%, and we have a My Little Houndoom?
Yeah, it's basically
it's a Rottweiler.
That's basically what Houndoom is. So it's literally a green Rottweiler with a scarf.
With a scarf.
Now,
And
For
more
what-
hexagonal eyes.
And the current version, the one that Zygarde that we are familiar with,
is Zygarde
is
50%.
only 50%.
Only 50%! I love the fact that Nintendo is basically telling us, yeah, you're right, we admit it, our Pokemon was only half done.
And so Zygarde Perfect Form.
Which literally looks like Gurren Lagann to me.
It's his final form, and he is Perfect Cell after all.
Oh god, I can't wait. Oh god, I'm thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged again.
I'm thinking of Dragon Ball Abridged, but anyway.
Sorry, I was thinking of that. My brain's derping today. My brain is derpy.
Well,
When
this
is it
must be the
not?
weather.
What are you saying, Leo?
When is it not?
Ooh.
Low blow, man. Low blow. Anyway.
No, Oplo is what I said on Cards Against Humanity that one time.
And I think that will remain unsaid. Okay, what else have we got on the list? Some other stuff.
Well,
Looks-
Zygarde Perfect Form is only coming out in the upcoming anime.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that this is anime exclusive?
No.
Well, so far, every time we've had a movie or a memorabilia come out with this, typically the game follows later.
Yeah, like with Black 2 and White 2, the movie that involved Black Kyurem and White Kyurem, Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 came around the same time as that movie. So with this latest X, Y, and Z movie,
We are either going to get a Z game
or X2, Y2.
or an event.
An event?
Which
It
could
might
be
be
interesting.
possible. Remember, we did have an event for Hoopla.
True.
So I don't know necessarily how it's going to work, but considering that Pokemon games can now be patched,
This is true.
it's open to possibilities.
That it is.
There's also one thing that was also included in that leak, which looks awesome but is ultimately disappointing.
Which is?
Is Greninja's Ash's Greninja's alternate form.
AKA Ash Greninja, AKA fuck you, Nintendo. It's not a mega form, it's an alternate form.
Well, it's bullshit.
Yes, it's a Greninja that takes on the attributes of Ash, aka being completely whiny, annoying, and basically a fucking twat. Pardon my language, but
Oh, we've been using far worse since the day we started.
ugh. I have a far worse word for Ash, but if I do that, I'm pretty sure I would be breaking the Geneva Convention.
What? Anyway, yeah, we're not as big a fan of Ash, in case this has not come across clearly enough.
Should I just make like a top 10 video of things wrong with the anime?
They would all involve
Probably
Ash.
gonna have to.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to, so we'll have to figure this out later on.
No, it has been a long while since I've seen the anime, and there were points where I thought like they could maybe save it.
But they botched it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so enough about the anime rants.
Let's
We've
talk,
got more Pokemon shit to go through.
aka Pokken Tournament.
Pikachu Libre is going to be coming out for Pokken Tournament.
Pikachu Libre.
Yeah, and the way he, she,
Remember, the Pikachu alternate forms are always female.
yeah. Yeah, the way she fights, like when she first appears in the video, she's like on her back, kind of. It kind of reminds me of how Dio did a pose in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. just like a weird pose, like with his back arch. It just made me think.
Is it the headbutt to the ground with the back arch thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually not just Dio. That's actually a wrestling trope in Japan.
Really?
Yes, if you're a badass wrestler, you can do a back suplex, perfectly arching with your head touching the ground, and it's supposed to make you a badass.
So what you're telling me is this isn't just Pikachu, this is Garchu.
This is Pika-Sinachu.
Pikachu.
Fucking Christ.
Have you guys seen that John Cena comes out of nowhere meme?
Yeah, and I'm sick and tired of it.
You're sick and tired of it because you're watching something normal, and then John Cena!
I'm not playing the music that goes with it.
Oh my god.
Moving on. Let's go from something amazing and
Well, I don't know. I kind of want to keep talking about this because I remember seeing a GIF of Machamp just bitch tossing Suicune into the stratosphere.
yeah, I saw that.
It's glorious. And there, I also saw the tagline. So this is how the legendary bees jump from route to route.
Dear God.
This is a shout out to you, Silver.
She does a stone cold stun to Charizard.
Okay, I think Machamp is officially going to become amazing again.
And I believe we heard that it's going to be coming out for the Wii U next year.
Yes. Zero. In particular, the part that Pikachu Libre is doing the back arch.
Yeah?
That's actually Pikachu supposed to be doing a German suplex.
Oh. 9!
Oh man, is this going to be the Nazi episode?
No.
Or, no, I hope
The
not.
Devil episode.
Oh, I hope not.
We'll wait for that for when we finally reach episode 666.
We
Make it around that long.
Yeah, we are around.
But on to douchebag of the week.
Oh boy, and this is actually coming back on us. Oof, this is hitting close to home.
So, douchebag of the week. The Pokemon Company demands $4,000 from a party planner. Wait, what? Okay, Leo, can you explain?
Certainly. So, Ramar Larkin Jones goes ahead and is going to plan a party for related to the PAX kickoff party.
Okay.
It's going to feature Pokemon-themed shots and drinks, a Smash Brothers tournament, giveaways, dancing, cosplay contests, and amazing Pokemon mashups.
Okay.
Sounds
fun.
pretty cool.
He was selling tickets. He was selling tickets for $2 a piece, and basically he was going to go. It basically was going to cost him this was a very small scale party. He only got about $50 because he spent $450 for expenses, so he was only making about $50 back on this.
All right. That
very, very small scale party, all things considered.
Yeah, you weren't really going to expect a big return on that if you were just doing it just to be nice.
But because he went ahead and had posters, not just saying Pokemon, but also featuring the images of Pikachu and Snivy on the poster, legal shenanigans ensued, and Pokemon companies issued a They refuse to dismiss the case unless they get paid $4,000 in mid-November.
What?
I had a Pokemon themed birthday party when I was a kid. For all I know, Nintendo could have sued me for that.
Right, but you're not making money off of it, and people didn't have to pay to go.
Oh, so because people had to pay to go.
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, come on. I mean, what?
The deal here is that he was making money off of their IP.
So they wanted to.
He's making $50 off his IP and is being sued.
He's not making money anymore because he canceled the party.
God damn it, Nintendo! Stupid things like
it's
this.
Not Nintendo, it's the Pokemon Company.
Still, Pokemon Company. Stupid stuff like this.
And this is the first time in a long while that I've heard the Pokemon Company coming down on someone with a hammer. So, ugh.
Yeah. They didn't even put the banhammer down on like that stupid PETA game, did they?
No. Well, that being said, the Happy Birthday song copyright was ruled invalid. So there might be some legal issues that need to be raised if he can find a pro bono attorney.
Alright.
So, who knows?
So, Nintendo's a dick. Is there anyone worse?
The Pokemon Company, Nintendo, and the Pokemon Company and Nintendo are two different entities. Get that through your head.
Fine. Is there anyone worse?
Yes, Anita Sarkeesian.
Okay, what did the bitch do this time?
I like how you're just going, what did the bitch do this time, instead of giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, I never gave her the benefit of the doubt. I've not liked her from the beginning.
Okay, so, despite the fact that most gamers do not like Anita Sarkeesian, much less Ms. Zoe Bell, for anyone who doesn't remember Gamergate Lady, both women have been somehow allowed to attend a Broadband Commission working group on gender at the United Nations.
Oh boy.
And from what I've read of the article, it basically amounts to internet censorship. So yeah, Anita, Zoe, fuck off!
Well, let's go ahead and explain that a bit clearly, so that way the viewers can go ahead and understand this.
Fair enough.
The idea here is that.
All right. So
the idea here is that, based on the whole shitstorm that was Gamergate, they got to go ahead and take part in a panel discussion in which the UN tries to go ahead and find solutions to curtail harassment of women on the internet. They go ahead and have data basically saying that there is a very high there's a predominant abuse of women on the internet.
there's also
73% of women experience online attacks, threats, and cyberstalking. Additionally, there are 27 more times to be shouted out this way on the internet.
All right. How much of that data is actual logistic fact?
This is from the UN. So it's not. It would be very rare for this data to be not accurate. I mean, I haven't read it myself, so there's probably going to be some flags that I'm missing. But generally speaking, these facts are generally inclined with what's the norm.
I know, but I really wish these two women weren't our spokeswoman people for this.
Well, the basic problem here is that any time you want to go ahead and curtail speech in any shape or form, it's going to lead to censorship, regardless of how you do it.
Yeah.
It goes ahead, and there are ways that, and that's called not being a dick.
But that's harder to do in a world as kind of bad shit as it is.
Yeah, and especially with the internet, where basically you are given complete anonymity for the most part.
Almost complete anonymity.
Unless someone decides to hack and find out who you are, and then drive over to your house and beat the fucking shit out of you.
Or, even better, call a SWAT team on you.
Ugh, goddammit. When will that end?
Well, that doesn't solve the problem.
No, it doesn't. It just makes you look like a tremendous douche.
Again, if people were willing to be more civil, then this would not... There's a point at which civility needs to go ahead and overcome, and at the same time, we cannot simply go ahead and not say things because you don't like them. It's one thing to go ahead and it's difficult to phrase it, but it's one thing to go ahead and say you shouldn't be saying that. It's another thing to say you should be silenced for trying to say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an ebb and flow.
That I totally agree on. And,
There is one thing that I will give the internet credit for, and that is that it is becoming easier and easier to actually have civil discussions there.
yeah, I mean, you actually had to have a decent YouTube a conversation in the YouTube comments, which flabbergasts me still.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not impossible. You just need to, well, learn how to write, communicate, and settle things civilly.
Yes, but the problem is there's also people who are basically 14 years old.
Oh, no. I'm talking 11 years old at that point.
Yeah.
There are some, this is not
9 years old.
There's 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds who are just
And
barely getting out.
I think we're starting to see what part of the problem is that people are not... It starts at a very young age, and then they just keep rolling with it.
I think another problem is that parents don't really know how to educate their kids on how to act on the internet.
Yeah, I want to say that I would say that we grew up with the internet in a more modern stage. Wouldn't you say, guys?
Well, I've been with the internet since it was a thing, so...
Technically, me too, but...
So that's what I'm saying.
But I didn't have true...
We knew the internet existed in our time, and we've kind of... Because we came into it... I came into it during the age of AOL.
Yeah.
AOL was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah, same thing.
So that's how far back I was. So, and my dad was very, and still is very computer savvy. So, the problem is that the problem is that the kids who are, or the kids. Like, geez, I sound old now.
We are old at this point.
I'm turning 25 next year.
That's the thing. The little shits who are doing this are the ones from the people who don't know this.
Yeah.
And they jump right into this, and there's no supervision because there wasn't for their generation.
There's no supervision. There's no
censorship. That's coming back to bite them in the ass.
Though, again, I will also say this. A lot of the kids who grew up with the internet are now growing up and learning how to communicate right. And there's a sort of, how do I say it? It's like a social habits. There's certain little social habits and cues that you're starting to pick up inside of the culture of the internet. So that's
right.
Changing. The internet is evolving as well as the people who work in it.
Yeah. It almost say it's like a rite of passage.
Yeah. I remember my first YouTube comment. It was a little piece of shit.
I remember my first delve into the proper internet because I didn't actually get to have proper internet usage till I was a junior in high school.
Oh, that's when things really pick up.
And I discovered DeviantArt.
Okay. And that came with its ups and downs.
Alright, so
Let's...
the last entry on our list can go ahead and rounds out the douchebag of the week and kind of opens up into what this next section, which is basically the 5 of 5s.
Ah.
Oh boy.
So the last entry on this list.
Oh god.
A what?
For his shit release of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing shit about this game.
So...
A glitchy, broken mess.
Okay, to the unenlightened, How shall we describe this?
We're having instances of this is as bad as Sonic Rise of Lyric, Sonic Boom. This is Sonic Boom bad.
Sonic Boom glitchiness. Same with Sonic 06. It's that level of broken shit. Yeah, that sounds lovely.
We're talking like clipping through the walls, dropping out of the play zone, tripping over nothing, exploitable glitches, just terrible gameplay overall.
Well, I will go ahead and ask this, though. Does it ring as many questionable bells as Ride to Hell Retribution?
Honestly, Ride to Hell Retribution was funny.
I
This is
disagree.
just sad.
I kind of disagree.
The thing is, if you look at it with a really twisted mindset, Ride to Hell Retribution can be about as funny as Rocky Horror Picture Show.
There are some moments that are funny. I will give you that. But then there are those little moments that make you go,
Ugh.
"Are you fucking serious? Are you seriously fucking?"
Come on.
And
when
how
you're-
the hell
when
are
you
you
have the
fucking with
entirety
clothes
of all
on?
the sex scenes occur with people clothed?
Yeah.
Well-
How the hell are you fucking that woman through her overalls?
And then there's the
There's
other
the-
thing. There's the other thing that I don't know if you guys know about, but they expected to make this into a series.
I think that's what the 1% meant. Originally, instead it means the amount of work they put into it.
Well, still, either way, bad games can still have cult followings.
Yeah.
I mean, this is such a famously bad game that it makes me go, morbid curiosity makes me pursue. But not in this case. I do know what Right to Hell is. It's crap. With regard to Tony Hawk, however,
I've never been a skater guy.
but weren't some of his games actually fairly good?
Yes, the old PS2 games were excellent back in their day.
I've heard even some of the games like Skate and
But, like, one of the things I'm watching, just so I can give you guys some ideas, the online component, which has you skating around a skate park with several other people, there's latency issues in the camera. So you'll see someone go up 50 feet in the air, and then they teleport 10 feet down because it isn't able to record it all properly.
so it's got rendering issues as well.
And then there's other things like you can actually, like, I don't think that this is an actual feature, but you can skate on the walls because you press against it if you're doing it a jump.
Now, I have to say, that actually sounds friggin' phenomenal.
Sounds like
But it doesn't make any sense.
Sounds like
Okay.
sounds like someone put some of Gary's mod into Tony Hawk.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
there's other things, like I said, the typical you get phase through wall stuff.
I want to...
You can just jump up and down to repeat tricks. There's some serious bugs, errors.
I want to
There's
bring
a
up
lot
something.
of issues.
I do want to bring up something. Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are some competitors who would use characters, purposely glitching them out in order to use them in a new and unique fashion. And this became competitively viable as opposed to game breaking.
Example.
Well, there's a teleportation glitch where if you use Ness's, I believe, teleportation in some regard, it was basically what amounted to the triple jump, only it would send you pretty much to the upper limits of the screen.
And kill you?
No, it wouldn't kill you. That's the thing. You could use it to save yourself and recover.
Ah. That's kind of interesting.
And also interesting, it was with the side B.
Huh.
So yeah, there was some funny glitches. The glitches don't make a bad game. What makes a bad game is if it stops being fun.
And it just becomes annoying and like the entire game's just a mass of glitches.
Because we don't necessarily go into video games in order to experience their realism. Sometimes we just go in there to escape the real world and have a little fun.
Yeah, and I'd rather not see the fun get broken up by rendering issues, graphical glitches.
Yeah, there's a thing where it's broken because you can max out your ollie meter, which is the jump, flip the board trick.
Yeah.
And just ramp it up by just jumping up and down like a spastic Mario man.
So you can basically glitch out the game and do impossible feats.
Yeah.
Like it gets well, it's not feats. It's just that you're racking up points by looking like an idiot. This is more akin to I'm trying to think of a farming glitch that would be more appropriate.
I remember back in Minecraft, there was one where you could create an infinite items glitch.
Yeah, something like that. I guess it would be like a Minecraft.
Yeah, like
glitch.
where if you held onto an item and threw it at the right moment while you were going through a portal.
Yes, that's something like that. Yes.
Yeah, I remember using that glitch to get unlimited diamond blocks.
Let's see.
But-
so that's the first announcement.
So the
Second,
second of fives.
Metal Gear Solid 5 has horse armor.
And more. Can I have a little bit of a story about Metal Gear Solid 5, particularly
Go for it.
Konami?
Go for it.
I found out online, on Twitter, that Konami had basically flagged and reported someone who posted Metal Gear Solid 5 fan art.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they
this was
did that is
Twitter.
because
This was
Hideo
Twitter.
Kojima retweeted it.
Yeah, this was a Twitter thing.
Yeah,
So they censored something that Kojima had.
retweeted. But it was not his stuff, it was someone else's artwork.
So the only reason they jumped on it was because Kojima liked it.
Yes.
So, what you mean to tell me is that our good old buddies at
Konami.
Konami have such a beef with Kojima that even if he sneezes on something, they want it banned?
Yep! They want it to be, it never existed. They are going so far as to censor artwork.
That he happens to like.
Yeah. Fan art of Metal Gear Solid, something that would promote the game itself. Which leads me to believe
Remember-
that they don't want to have anything to do with the game from now on.
Remember what I said earlier about what I believed would be, what my opinion on Konami possibly going down?
Yeah?
That it would be a good thing?
Uh-huh.
Do you agree with me now?
Yes. Who said I didn't agree with you? I hate Konami. Fuck Konami.
Japanese corporate culture, everyone.
Oh man.
And
But,
somehow...
so they have DLC coming out that features armor for Diamond Horse.
Which is
some-
awesome.
No, it isn't. That was a joke when it was a thing in Skyrim and Oblivion.
Yes, but this is actually just part of the DLC, which includes things such as sneaking suit, tuxedo, jumping machines.
Wait, there's a tuxedo in it?
Yeah, and here's the thing
you can
about the
dress,
tuxedo.
Punish Snake in a tuxedo.
Here's the thing about the tuxedo. In previous Metal Gear Solid games, that was an unlockable for beating the game.
Huh.
Now, it's a DLC.
Well, there's other outfits. I mean,
But the thing is, you would always get the tuxedo if you beat a Metal Gear Solid game.
I don't remember that being the case, but
I think you had to beat it with a certain thing, but it was always in the game. If you did,
I
you
don't
get
remember that
quests.
being a thing in Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, or 3.
Might have been a thing in 4, but
I think it might have only been in 4.
but
But
still.
anyway, other news. Fem Snake, that's a thing, guys. By the way,
No, thank you.
Okay.
Fem Snake can wear outfits inspired by the boss and Eva from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay.
Not bad.
And I also believe that this is not related to that news, but apparently Metal Gear's the Phantom Pain was supposed to be longer.
Yeah, apparently Konami cut the last 3 chapters of the game out completely.
Hmm.
And they're going to bring them in as DLC. Just like they did with Ground
Konami.
Zeroes.
Well, Ground Zeroes was actually something else.
It was actually supposed to be I actually found out it was supposed to be chapter 1 of the Phantom Pain.
I'm starting to get that hate boner for Konami again.
How about the fact that they have a pachinko machine for Silent Hill?
Are you guys gonna start whacking it off over there?
Shut up, Leo.
Oh boy.
I will develop powers that will allow me to strangle you through the computer screen.
Well, that's actually a thing. You can't actually touch him right now. You can't reach over and...
Strangle him.
Yes, thank you.
No, but I can do that to you if you decide to piss me off, Legend.
Let's see.
You can go ahead and try.
I think that covers pretty much all of Metal Gear Solid news as far as that we need to go over. So let's move on to FNAF 5.
You mean FNAF World. There is no FNAF 5.
Which is called FNAF World. So everyone's calling it FNAF 5 because technically it's the 5th game in the FNAF franchise.
But
even
it's
though it has
not.
nothing to do with the current storyline.
Yes, it has. I don't think it has anything to do with what's going on. I don't know what Cawthon is going to do with it.
What the fuck is it even? What is it even?
Cawthon says that it's supposed to be an RPG.
Yes.
Excuse me. The fuck?
And he promises that he's working on a demo that'll be released soon, hopefully before or around the release of the patch for Five Nights 4.
Which means it'll be posted early.
No, I think this
he's
one
actually
will...
saying that this is going to take me a while, guys.
Mm-hmm. He's actually saying this will take him a long while.
He did say that for FNAF 2 and FNAF 3.
But this time it's an RPG.
True.
Those are huge.
And those often require a lot of balancing, especially if you've ever tried to do an RPG Maker game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll see how this works, but as you can clearly see in the, if you go to Scott's page, that he has the FNAF world set up, and you can see all the art of basically every character chibi-dies with a couple of new ones tossed in too.
Huh. I'll have to take a look at that later, because
there's Paper Plate Freddy, Paper Plate Springtrap, it looks like. No, Paper Plate Bonnie, and I want to say a Paper Plate Springtrap, but I'm not sure.
I think you said that twice already.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
some of the characters don't look recognizable, so it's hard to trace them.
So it could just be a Bonnie.
Well, you guys have to see it for yourself, and then you can go through it. But ultimately, there's a lot going on here, so it's going to be interesting to see what exactly Cawthon comes out with this.
Now, I will give Cawthon this. Cawthon's original idea for Five Nights at Freddy's stemmed from the fact that he failed to make a kid-friendly game early on.
Mm-hmm.
So he took the scary characters, made them into actual characters, and he made a franchise out of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I see him taking a good thing, and it might possibly reverse. But on the other hand, there's always the freak chance that this also becomes successful and does incredible things.
Hey, he has the fan base there. This is the time to explore. This is the time to go ahead and try a new direction.
Yeah, because he's done the normal formula. He's done the jump scare, looking around stuff. He's done that formula and beaten it to death.
If this is still going to be a horror-based game, I think he's going to have a lot more pull because no one knows what to expect.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So even people who don't like Five Nights at Freddy's or thinks that it's not scary might find this interesting.
What's up?
Nothing.
What was that?
Moosey's one of the ones who says that Five Nights isn't scary.
Yeah, Akari's friend.
Hey, different things scare different people. And it just so happened that this one freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, how many times have you resharpened your katana for these games?
Next, this one is more interesting news and happier news. Persona 5. We finally get the official names for the rest of the characters.
And it looks like they're going down the bandit route.
Well, we saw that from the start when the protagonist protagonist persona was named Arsene, which is basically Lupin.
Yes, one of the greatest fictional thieves of all time, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and who was not only a great fictional thief, but also had a fictional grandson who was also a great fictional thief.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lupin the Third.
And then we also have stuff like Captain Kidd.
Which is so the protagonist has we've already seen the protagonist's allies. Ryuji, which is a kanji looking motherfucker.
So, and he has the persona of Captain Kidd.
And Anne, who is supposed to be American and is the first female of the team.
The what?
Anne is the female.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and her...
And she's part American.
Oh, that's interesting.
And she
Yes,
has...
And her persona is Carmen.
Of the opera name, I'm assuming.
Which is weird, because was Carmen a thief in that opera?
No.
No.
But she was a
Why do I
Lady
think
of
of
the
Carmen
Night.
Sandiego?
I'm thinking that too for some reason.
Really? Both of you guys went to the fucking cartoon?
Yes!
I didn't even go there.
Okay, so I'm either thinking... Wait. Carmen in the opera, wasn't she a gypsy?
I was going with Lady of the Night, but sure.
Well,
Lady of the Night.
They were those two.
Thief of virtue.
But your theory actually makes more sense.
And then we have the cat Morgana.
Who is voiced by Pikachu.
Who's voiced by Pikachu.
And its persona is Zoro, who looks oddly like Silver Chariot from JoJo.
Which
I gotta see this. I actually haven't seen what Morgana's twist.
Well, it looks like a thicker, chunkier Silver Cherry. I think he
Well, very top-heavy Silver Chariot and very thin, gangly legs.
he skipped leg day.
Okay, here's what I don't understand. Why the fuck is his rapier almost the size of his fist?
The better to punch you with, my dear. Oh, boy.
And then we have the fifth character.
Oh, great. He's punching holes into people.
His name is Yusuke Kitagawa, and his persona is Goemon.
Goemon.
The
legendary pipe thief.
Pipe thief?
Well, he's a thief well known in Japanese folklore and was a real person. And Goemon is fictionally characterized wearing red garments, a pompadour or an afro, and usually carrying or brandishing a pipe.
And from what I saw from the actual image of Goemon, his pipe also doubles as an axe.
Typically, in fiction, it typically counts as his weapon. There's an entire Nintendo 64 series games.
Yeah, Mystical Ninja starring Goemon.
Oh my gosh.
Those games are actually really good if you can go ahead and emulate them or find the cartridge.
Find the cartridge? You mean shell out $500 for a cartridge?
No, the games are rare, but they're not.
They're not like.
We're not talking about Katamari Damacy rare.
Hey.
The game has some noticeable issues and wasn't really well liked because it's one of those games where it's so Japanese that it doesn't make sense unless you know Japanese. So there's a lot of plot gaps unless you actually know some of the lore.
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw part of a Let's Play of one, and I think I stopped because it was too Japanese for me.
Yeah,
I think it was because of
while,
the character Abisamaru.
It gets so stupidly Japanese, you'll be spitting out solid pocky. Or maybe you should be shitting out solid pocky. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But yeah.
When did this become plug and play?
Oh, horrible, 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 horrible. Let's move on.
I wasn't expecting that from you, Legend.
I've seen some Let's Plays from famous YouTubers, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier.
Alright.
And just to see what the hell.
Alright, next up, it's finally time for the Indie Horror Corner.
Is it? Oh, well, technically, I didn't move that out there, but sure, let's go over that one right away.
And Zero's gonna go nuts for this one.
Holy
there's
shit,
two things,
this
so I'll
game
just
is
move the other one up
amazing!
first. Before we go into the one that Zero is totally ranting about, obviously, Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows is out.
Yep. And
Gentlemen, I know you two are going to be doing this as an LP, so if you don't mind, do you mind if I just give my thoughts about it so far?
sure, yeah, go for it.
Okay, so if this is how Yacht Club is doing their DLC, I would pay them for it.
Yes.
I would happily shell out $10 for Plague of Shadows DLC if they were going to sell it to me.
No
I
kidding.
would happily pay that money to them.
This is basically a second game.
This is basically This is unbelievable. It is criminal that I can't pay for this. I want to reward them for this.
I think I kind of helped pay for this by getting a Wii U version of the game. I bought the game twice.
Yeah, it's an incredible game. The biggest thing that you're gonna have to get used to is the mechanics, because you are actually playing as a Plague Knight in this game.
Yes.
Which means you don't have a shovel, you have projectiles.
Right, and they can stop gravity.
Well, not just that, but you have a customizable projectile.
Yes.
One of the features, when they initially, about a week before they released it, they released a sort of, this is how you play the game detail, where they go over several of the unique mechanics for Plague Knight.
Yeah.
So
right.
the main mechanic is that his regular attack, his flash throw, can be customized with different bottles.
Different bottles, different powders,
and
different fuses.
I'm saying my shit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, and you can customize it in different ways to do everything from super bombs, making a shield, having fire go in different directions, delayed attacks, homing projectiles.
It's quite fun. There's an armor in the game called the Pandemonium armor.
Which, in order to get, you need to have both the tribal
Spoilers. Let's save that for the LP. But go ahead and go about the Armor Zero.
Well, Ledger's actually experienced it. I haven't, so I'll let him talk about it.
Right. In order to get it, you need to actually get all the coins, which they added these coins that you have to be really freaking good at platforming with Plague Knight in order to get. And when you have every single one of them, you unlock, through a few more series of events, which I will get to in the LP, the Pandemonium armor. And this armor is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And I don't mean like it's... How nuts is it? Okay, it has its ups and its downs. Its ups. It allows you to basically ignore the limitations of any bomb that you have. If you can only normally throw one of that bomb, you can now throw all three.
Which is very nice.
It is ridiculous.
Okay, so what's the trade-off?
The trade-off is you don't get to pick. It randomly shuffles between every single one of your artillery, your jump, and even your special items, and like your arcana, and shuffles them all completely. You have no idea what you're going to get every 10 seconds.
Yeah, so basically, you're the Mad Bomber.
Yes! And
Okay.
it'll also shuffle your armor, too.
Dang.
So sometimes you'll have the extra jump, sometimes you'll be heavier, sometimes you'll even be more floaty. It'll
So
fuck
it gives you perfect combat precision at the cost of platforming precision.
Well, combat can also be a little tricky too. For instance, if you are fighting a grounded enemy and you all of a sudden get the lob casing, which gives you an upward arc, yeah, you're going to have to wait 10 seconds before you can actually fire off again.
Provided you're being blessed with another casing instead of just having the lob casing and instead getting something like the centrifuge or...
Well, there is, again, that trade-off. Because there were times where, like, yeah, I was like, come on, switch over. But then it would switch over to something like, oh, I don't know, the cluster bomb, which you can now throw 3 of.
Which a cluster bomb itself does 3 hits of damage itself.
Which means if you land all 3 shots, you get 9 hits in one volley.
Which means you could wipe out half a boss's HP.
Yeah, it's nuts.
They also recustomized everything from the story elements to interactions in different areas, It just really made it a whole different campaign, even though it's the same areas, the way Plague Knight plays is so batshit different that you have to rethink everything. And they've even had new areas specifically for Plague Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's even an area in Plague Knight's actual Explodatorium that's actually right before you fight Shovel Knight, the wall before you jump down. There's a hidden area where you can go into his bedroom.
Yeah, and it'll actually give you an achievement for finding it. Though, there was one other little thing. Several bosses that used to give me so much trouble suddenly became easier.
And bosses
that I normally didn't have a major problem with became my worst nightmare.
Propeller Knight.
And King Knight, surprisingly, gave me some trouble.
Really? King Knight gave you some trouble. I was using the tracing powder and he just kept running into it.
Yeah, but I don't think I had tracer powder then.
I think I had enough for it, or I think I chose that before choosing a different powder.
When we get to the LP, I'll explain exactly why Propeller Knight is a major pain in the frickin' explosive ass.
And how bad were the spiky areas?
Not as bad. I had my own ways of getting it.
I think that pretty much covers everything we wanted to say without going straight into the LP, so please look forward to Legend and Zero's Plague of Shadows RP.
Yeah, not RP, LP. We're not role-playing as...
LP.
All right. Fair enough. All right.
Now we can get into the indie horror corner.
All right, I'm leaving this one all to you, Zero.
Yeah, go at this one. This is all yours, man.
Okay, so the name of the game is Undertale. And, well, how can I put this? It's an RPG. It's also an anti-RPG. It breaks the fourth wall. And it has some of the most amazing characters that you actually get the feels for. And it's such a great game that it actually got a 97 out of 100 on Metacritic, the highest ranking of any game ever from that website. To date. And just to get you a tip, Metal Gear Solid 5 got a 94, I believe, on Metacritic. I don't know.
I'm checking it up right now just to see what the top games. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid got between a 95 to a 93. Journey gets a 92.
Wow, so this game is even better than Journey, and that's one of those indie games that people gush about how amazing it is. So yeah, Undertale is a game that the problem is I don't want to spoil anything, because this is a game where literally, the person who made this game, Toby Fox, he literally says, "Do not spoil this game on the internet."
Okay, Zero. To put it in perspective, Undertale shares the 97 ranked score with Grand Theft Auto 5 and Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Huh.
They both got 97s in 2013 and 2010, respectively.
So this game, in 2015, not only beat Metal Gear Solid 5 on the rankings,
but it ties with arguably two of the most influential games of the current era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and keep in mind that the budget for this game was significantly smaller than either of those two.
Yeah, there was a Kickstarter for it, and the biggest Kickstarter goal thing to add was $1,000, where you could have your own fan troll, which is a bit of a Homestuck reference.
Oh, man.
But you can have your own fan troll put in as a secret boss in the game. And actually, the person who did that is actually an artist on my art site.
Yeah, you said the guy put down $1,000?
Yeah. Which is amazing because I think he basically lives off of commissions.
Wow. So, his commissions paid for a character in this game?
Yeah, and people hate him.
Really?
They hate him because of the stuff that he draws.
Well,
he's like me on the art site, what I draw. People hate him because of his fetish, even though the moral of the game is, do you like people for who they are? The irony is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
Well, I wouldn't say it's irony. I would say it's, well...
It's complete ignorance, but still, this game is bloody amazing. Not only that, it's very self-aware.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Don't do any.
I won't say any major spoilers. I'll try to avoid those, and if I do, please cut them out.
Okay.
I will go ahead and just say this. The morality, there is some morality in this game.
Yeah, either to save or give mercy to enemies, or to completely murder them.
And the results will either turn you into, well,
A nice little kid.
a nice little kid, which means that you can play the game again and
Have fun.
have fun, or hellspawn.
Hellspawn and completely fuck up every save file from then on, even if you reset no matter how many times.
Yeah, the fourth wall is not going to protect you. If your own personal morality is not good in this game and you decide to go out on a limb, because that's what video games are for, right? You're going to be reminded exactly why that's a bad character choice.
To quote a character from the game, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. And you're going to need to get a freaking new game.
Uh,
Yeah, I bet you it's going to be a hot seller once it comes around to Christmas time.
Whew, boy.
oh yeah, especially with the Steam winter sale, it's probably going to be selling for like instead of,
$5, I would say. I'd say go down to about 5.
yeah, go down to like $5, maybe $10 for the whole soundtrack version, 15 at the most.
Yeah, I would say that's a fair amount. But either way, it's a really good game. I haven't played it yet, but I highly recommend it. I'm going to get my hands on it as soon as I can.
Yeah, and please do not kill anything. I beg of you. Even if
Try
you,
not to.
If you do kill one, you will never get the pure passive ascending, and you'll have to reset the entire game.
Oof.
So yeah, there's that.
Let's go ahead and move on from that to something more horror-filled. Silent Hills.
Well, no, I can't spoil it. Okay, Silent Hills!
Silent Hills. So Silent Hills, the other reminder that Konami is shit.
So apparently Silent Hills would have had famed manga and horror artist Junji Ito, the person who created the manga known as Uzumaki.
Is that the
Also
one
known
with
as
the
Japan's
spirals?
mindfuckery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically one of the most wonderfully talented writers at making you shit your pants in your bed at night, long after you've read his shit.
And a master of body horror.
Yeah.
Oh god, the body horror this guy does.
If you've ever read Uzumaki...
Tails is the one who told me about this guy way back when.
This guy's stuff will mess you up.
Yeah.
Big time.
It'll make
But
you...
yeah, so
It'll make you cringe anytime you see a
had,
spiral.
Aki Toriyama, not Aki Toriyama, Akira Yamaoka, Junji Ito, Guillermo del Toro.
Holy crap.
It was going to be a star-studded cast worthy. It sounded like a superhero lineup. A twisted, horrendous superhero lineup.
And then Konami said no.
Konami ended up being the biggest dick in the entire gaming community.
Why wasn't this in the Assholes of the Week?
Because it really wasn't anything new. It's just more of like, hey, you know what? We were also consulting this guy.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, you know this thing you were looking at?
Konami didn't actively do anything. It's not like they censored any Junji Ito stuff.
I almost have to wonder, is Konami trying to fail?
Well, Konami has already released a statement saying that they're exiting the console market.
Yeah, like their last game that they made is a soccer game. They had a whole survey of, what about these games or these franchises would you like to see as a AAA game coming out in the future?
And people said soccer?
Nope, that's just the one that they decided on.
Oh, so they said screw the votes?
Yeah. Leo, your phone.
Yes, I know, chill.
Derp.
Oh boy.
Derp yourself.
But
Derp.
yeah, let's see. The only thing they've also pulled out of the global stock market. Yeah, no,
Sell.
yeah, and their latest thing in the Silent Hill world is a Silent Hill pachinko machine. Hit the lever.
Clearly, wrong lever.
Yeah. So
What
yeah,
else do we got?
the only thing that's supporting
Batman Arkham Knight PC re-release is due for the end of October.
Oh, you mean the game that had a horrible glitchy PC making?
Yeah, the game that had to be pulled off of Steam because it was so shit-tastic.
Ooh.
Wow. So it's finally coming back on.
Yeah, they said that they fixed the issues, but we'll see whether or not that is going to remain true.
Yeah, because if I recall right, the company that did the PC port is a company that had never had experience doing that.
Correct.
They had no experience making a PC port, and it was not even the same company that was making the Batman Arkham game.
Correct.
So, tick 1, tick 2 for fuck up from Warner Brothers' side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, another thing with Warner's name in it.
I thought we were getting away from the Hitler Satans.
Right. Anyway,
Hitler Satans. I kind of want to see a picture of that.
Let's go over some Dark Souls 3 stuff.
Oh yeah, Dark Souls 3 release date next April.
Mm-hmm. So
I need to get one for the PS4. Okay.
Right. So there's a bit more details aside from the fact that Japan's getting Dark Souls 3 in March and we're getting it in April. There's some other details that got released out too.
Oh?
For starters, Magic is being reworked to go ahead and be more combat focused.
Yeah, if I recall, there's now a magic meter that requires a different type of Estus flask called an Ash Estus flask.
Well, this goes back to Demon Souls, to where magic was actually a gauge.
Yeah. And there is one other interesting element, too. The idea that this magic gauge isn't just used for magic spells, but also for special attacks.
Special attacks and miracles, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, but here's the thing that I don't think you guys have heard yet.
Oh?
Remember how in Bloodborne you have the charge up for physical attacks?
Yeah.
You can do that with magic now.
We can charge up magic. So instead of just holding your one and let the soul arrow fly, you can charge it for a second and cause even more damage.
Well, you charge it by pressing L2. The way I'm reading it is that if you press L2, it overcharges the spell.
Huh.
So for an extra bit of mana from the magic bar, you get a 20% boost in power.
Interesting.
I'm picturing how homing soul mass will be with that.
So far, they've confirmed six spells, 3 miracles, 3 sorceries. We have Soul Arrow,
which is standard.
Magic Bolt, Greatsword.
Also, that's a good one.
And a new spell, which I think is called Soul Dart.
Yeah, which is a weaker version of Soul Arrow.
But it comes out faster.
So you might even be able to use it to get people to dodge, so you can hit them
just
with
like you had Heavy Soul Arrow, this is the opposite of that in that it's weaker, but it shoots way faster.
So it's a good way to possibly stun lock an opponent.
It's an optional version. I have no idea where you'll find it. They've also confirmed Lightning Spear to come back, Heal as a miracle, and Sacred Oath, which is one of the miracles that came out in Dark Souls 2.
And it's a badass miracle.
Yeah. So those are pretty good. And like I said before, this is going off of Vadi Vidya's review of Dark Souls 3 after he had a good bit of gameplay footage from it.
Mm-hmm.
The magic meter is recovered with the use of something called an Ash Estus flask, which is a blue-looking Estus flask.
Right. Now, in the original Demon Souls, when you healed magic and health, there wasn't an Estus flask of any sort. You had to use consumable items, which you could run out of.
Ah.
So this is kind of balancing something from that game out.
So that's what they decided to do. It looks like they decided to balance out magic and make it and give it an Estus of its own.
I do want to ask one thing before you
go ahead.
Do you still have a limited number? I know that you run out of magic, and you can recover that with your blue Estus. But do you still have a numerical charge left on all of your spells?
I don't think that's going to be the case. I think now you can cast as much as your magic meter will allow.
Ooh.
So
That's the trade-off here, is that instead of magic costing you stamina, you can only use it a certain number of times.
Which was always the case, but
this time it's rechargeable. You don't have to stop at a bonfire to reset it.
In Demon Souls, you could go ahead and cast magic at your leisure, but you could only do it from a finite pool. And if you ran out, you either had to find healing items that restore MP, or wait and let them MP restore naturally.
Yeah, and in Dark Souls, the whole thing was you had a limited use of each one. Like Great Soul, like Soul Spear, you only had 4 uses of.
unless you got items that increase that, but even then.
Yeah, even the I forget which catalyst it was that basically doubled it.
The Manus' Catalyst.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Manus' Catalyst halved it, but doubled the power.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, other things they said they were doing include the New Game Plus mode is going to be revamped in Dark Souls 3, so that way it becomes more of a Scholar of the First Sin type when you play the second time around.
Ooh.
So they're purposely going to hold off on certain items and enemies, and then bring them back in for New Game Plus.
Interesting.
They're also taking out bonfire aesthetics from the second game.
Okay.
So you cannot manually raise the level of the difficulty of a certain region, and hopefully it also means that the depopping of enemies after you kill them a certain number of times will also go away as well.
I hope that's the case, because that was bullshit in Dark Souls 2.
I mean, I get that, like, there's an added element of difficulty. Like, I could actually run out of enemies. That could be a problem.
Yeah. Although, in Scholar of the First Sin, you know the area where you have to fight the old Dragon Slayer?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what happens when you try to go there now? Instead of a giant there's a dragon.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, there's a Hellkite Werven there.
Spoilers, kind of, but I've seen that thing
Not
and it's
really.
evil.
I wouldn't call it a spoiler as much, considering that's just new enemy placement.
It's a new enemy placement and an enemy that I haven't seen before.
Well,
looks
actually,
like
it
a
shows
giant
up later. It shows up later in the game. It's just they replaced it earlier, and there's a lot of that in Scholar of the First Sin, which I'm desperately missing from playing on my PS2 version.
Yeah, I wonder, does owning all the DLC give you the Scholar of the First Sin, or...?
It gave us the patch, which puts all the in, but the enemy placements, the item replacements, some of the balancing issues are exclusive to the PS4 version.
Ah, so I would have to rebuy the game.
For example, in my version of the game, I still only have 3 Hide Knights.
I see.
In Scholar of the First Sin, there's at least 6. The original 3, and then they add a couple of more throughout the game more often.
Huh, that's kind of cool.
So you actually can get more of the items easier.
Okay.
More easily.
Remember,
one of the other things that they said they were doing is that they are going to be rebalancing durability.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, in Dark Souls 1, durability was never an issue. In Dark Souls 2, it was so much of an issue that it made the game less practical.
So when I heard, they're kind of trying to find a balance between the two, which makes sense. Like,
right, and honestly, I think that we saw that just from the progression of the series. So, they had durability be an issue for Dark Souls. It was an issue in Dark Souls 1. It became too much of an issue in Dark Souls 2. So now they're balancing it out.
And durability was non-existent.
Something that I found that I personally experienced not too long ago when I was playing Dark Souls 1.
Huh.
And that is, if you let the Gaping Dragon connect with its bite attack, or not the Gaping Dragon, sorry, the Covetous Demon.
Ah.
If you let the Covetous Demon bite you in Dark Souls 2, it will actually strip you of all of your clothing, armor, and weapons.
Wow, good thing I never let that thing hit me.
It doesn't destroy them, it just puts them in your inventory.
All broken, I imagine.
No, not all broken, it just removes them.
But that's still dickish. So you're running around naked with nothing on you.
Your items are still left intact, but you do have to go ahead and re-equip your weapons, rings and armor.
Which is a pain in the ass when you've got a giant fat arse of a monster trying to kill you.
If I recall, you can kind of climb up somewhere, or am I...
There's a stairs that you can sort of outpace since the attacks are pretty darn slow that you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so yeah, there is that. So you can get onto the stairs and quickly maybe put like 1 or 2 items in dodge before...
Yeah, I actually got that right before my last attack, so I just needed to equip a weapon and I killed him.
Alright then.
So it was okay. Yeah, so Dark Souls 3, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, and from what I saw of the game footage, the movements and everything, like the way of countering, backstabbing, it felt like Dark Souls 1. It felt like that. But it had the polish and movement speed and fluidity of Bloodborne.
Which I'm also looking forward to.
Because I saw one boss, I forget what it's called, but it had like a flaming sword. And then it reached into the ground and pulled out another sword.
And we all went, oh fuck.
And it just started doing this kind of weird cyclone dance that was like, how the hell do you dodge that? Do you just keep rolling?
I'm hoping that it has more weapon and armor options like Dark Souls 2.
I kind of hope that they make it a more personal selection. Like, I understand the great variety of weapons is very appealing, but at the same time, it also made it so difficult to find the one weapon that would actually work best for me.
Well, for me, it was the exact opposite. It became there are too many people that have the same option that I don't want to be using that option. So it's kind of just weird.
Yeah, because Dark Souls 2 had quite a lot of stuff. There was the Twin Blades, there was the Lances, Great Lances, Halberds, Great Halberds, and basically the instant win weapon, the Great Sword.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't an instant win, and then you had to work around it, so...
Yeah, but honestly, I never did a strength build before, and using that Great Sword was, like, easy street for me.
It is an incredible weapon, all things said and done.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to
more Dark Souls.
More Dark Souls music. More Dark Souls news with
I'm calling
Twitch
this
finally beats
bullshit.
Dark Souls.
Twitch beats Dark Souls. I call this bullshit on so many things.
I call it hilarious bullshit.
So, at first, Twitch plays Dark Souls was kind of like, oh god, they're going to die so many times.
They did.
They did, but the thing is, originally they were playing it just as the game was. They couldn't get past the first ladder in the Undead Asylum. Took them a few days, they still couldn't do that. So what they literally had to do was break the game. They had to break the game so Twitch could actually get through it and win. So what would happen is, I believe every 2 or 3 seconds, the game would pause, read all the inputs, and basically choose the consensus out of all of them and perform that movement. 2 seconds, do the same thing.
Well, it's something that had to come with the medium. Twitch Plays is still going on, and it has been very, very successful for Pokemon. It rekindled a love of the franchise, I do know that, and it was hilarious to watch.
Extremely stupid, though.
Oh yeah, but, you know, there's a lot of things that we love that you might consider dumb.
And there was very, very meme-ish stuff spawned from it.
Yes.
I'm kind of scared to see what happens with the meme creation from Dark Souls.
Dark Souls has its own memes, but anyway. Yeah, the fact that they were actually able to do this, considering that even if you're actually able to move, that it's a pain in the ass, yeah, it's impressive that they managed to pull this shit off, even after breaking the game.
Yeah, my problem is still that they had to break the game, which means they had to instill mods and modifications in order for it to even run properly.
It was one modification that they had to use.
I think it was a few, but I don't know the full details.
Right.
Regardless, anyone beating Dark Souls is an achievement.
Yeah, especially when they actually managed to go ahead and beat Smaug and Ornstein.
The fact that they did that still kind of flabbergasts me, because, like, my brain's thinking, there's no way. There's no fucking way.
They did.
Because all I'm
they
thinking
broke
is...
the game, too.
I'm thinking that the most schizophrenic warrior fighting Ornstein and Smaug...
Well, we already knew that they were already insane. The hollows are not that right in the head.
Right.
And again, people have joked at the fact that in our LP, it's like 3 people are talking in the hero's head.
That would be kind of crazy, all things considered, but yeah, I can see that being a thing. How about we go ahead and continue onward to Bloodborne?
Oh yeah, Bloodborne DLC.
Oh boy.
The old hunters.
Yet another reason I need to get a PS4.
So, if I recall right, there's a whole lot of new weapons coming out, new bosses, and from what I can tell, it's basically going back into the past to see what happened.
So it's Artorias of the Abyss all over again.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
Yeah, it's going back to the very first hunter, Gehrman, and one of his buddies that becomes a big monster.
I hope there's no spoilers in this.
Well, it was in the trailer.
Alright.
It's in the trailer, so it's all good. It's very much like Artorias of the Abyss, it seems like. And there's also... one of the weapons is supposed to be a spiked wheel.
Because the wheel wasn't OP enough beforehand?
Well, they
No,
kind of...
what I'm wondering is whether or not we're going to start to... if we can actually do like a bone wheel spin or something like that.
If it can.
Talk about speed running. Do
Yes,
plus with that weapon.
Definitely it's going to be a very interesting game coming out.
I do know there's one weapon that basically doubles as like a giant chainsaw, not like a chainsaw, but 2 giant saw blades.
Nice.
And it's like a normal axe weapon, like a club weapon that you insert into the wheels to create the trick weapon. And I saw it take I saw it take a huge chunk out of Vicar Amelia's health. And here's the thing: that bitch is tanky.
Oh boy. So that's going to be entertaining to take on if we ever do an LP of that.
Vicar Amelia is not too bad. Just get behind her, and if she suddenly does this,
That is amusing. You're using a sight thing on an audio recording.
well, if she
See,
suddenly
now I start to sympathize with our viewers who, when we do audio gags, suddenly can't see the joke.
well, if
Use
she,
your words.
if she suddenly starts to claw behind you, you dodge.
Okay.
Yeah. Although the one I'm going to laugh at is watching you fight Father Gascoigne. I'm making you fight that bastard.
I'll let you know when I go in and I manage to beat him.
If you beat him on the first time,
We
I will give you a cookie.
Alright. I expect a big cookie when I get back then.
Alright.
Mega Man Legends is now out on PSN.
Yeah, I remember that. Fuck, who was the Great Clement talked about that.
Uh-huh.
And that also reminds me, Mighty Number 9 released a demo not too long ago.
Nope, it got delayed.
No, I got to see the demo. And I even got to see some people play it. Problems I can see ahead in the near future.
I think everyone resounded with a meh from the demo.
There's that. But unless you put the game audio into Japanese dubbing, unfortunately, this is one of those games that does make me say, yeah, it would have been better if they had just left it in Japanese.
Really?
The dubbing is...
Awful.
It's questionably there.
Is it Mega Man 7 levels of bad? Mega Man X 7 levels of bad?
Like, find Dr. Wily.
It's Mega Man 8 levels of bad then.
Ooh.
No. It's not super bad, but it's super cheesy. Some of it's super cheesy, and there's points where it feels like they intentionally had to slow it down so it wouldn't outpace the text.
Hey guys, guess what?
What?
More PS2 games are coming out for the PS4.
Yay!
Which games?
All of them?
Oh, something of little title. You may have heard of it called Dark Cloud 2.
That would explain the price drop on the game that I got.
Holy shit.
Also, Ape Escape 2 and Twisted Metal Black are also coming out for PSN.
Nice.
Is that the entire list, or?
That's the ones that they've listed thus far. This is the first of the PS2 games coming to PSN for the PS4.
Yeah. By the way, the AV to HDMI converter that you got me works well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said before, we managed to record a little segment of a game called Samurai Legend Musashi.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
The one with the one done by Square, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Square Enix. I didn't even know this existed. And I think it even came out after Kingdom Hearts.
I was gonna say this either came out around or after Kingdom Hearts.
It came out in 2004, if I recall.
I think that was after Kingdom Hearts then.
Yeah, I could tell.
It was interesting.
Trust me, it gets more camp-tastic the further you go in.
Oh
Yeah.
god, we only barely got to. We had a lot of difficulty with it, and at the same time, it was a strange and fun ride.
Yeah, Surfing Ninja.
Surfer Dude!
Ninja.
No, not Ninja, he's a samurai.
Well, he's certainly acting like a ninja and a samurai.
Ninjas have a little more class than this guy.
I don't know. The ninjas back in the 90s were not very classy.
Also true.
And they tended to live in the sewers.
Well, I was
Or
referring
also-
to the surf ninjas, but sure.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Does anyone remember that franchise?
Surf
It was
Ninjas?
a franchise?
They had a video game.
Fuck no!
Nope. I do not believe that. I do not believe we live in a world that
Sega Game
exists.
Gear, motherfuckers. I own it.
Oh, fuck.
You will have to show me a picture, or I will not believe it exists.
I will go ahead and make sure I get a picture of it when I come down for the winter.
So you're flying.
You asked for it, dude.
Oh god damn it! So
Anyway, so good news for the amiibo nutheads, aka Zero.
hey, I only like certain amiibos.
Well, you better go ahead and beat your wallet because there's more amiibos coming out. Specifically, they're doing reprints of some of the rarer amiibos, including Little Mac, Fox, Shulk, Captain Falcon, and Greninja.
And here's the thing: I already got Greninja. It just arrived in the mail today.
Oh, good for you.
And I already own Shulk, and I got it for cheap.
They're also doing reprints of Meta Knight and Martha Knight.
I'm gonna need Meta Knight. Fuck.
So they're restocking on all those amiibos. So get them while they're still hot before they get hijacked off of an armored truck.
I also saw another amiibo thing coming out. There's for the Animal Crossing party game,
Yeah.
and there's two amiibos that I want to. Well, three amiibos that I want to get for that.
Really?
Tom Nook, KK Slider, and Kix the Skunk.
Interesting.
Actually, with that, I think that's everything off of our news list.
No, there's one more thing.
Oh?
Yep.
Wave 4 DLC for Smash.
Oh.
This had me going, ha! And going all at the same time.
Super Mario Maker stage is available for purchase, along with a Tetris Ship theme stage from Wind Waker.
Which is awesome.
Oh yeah, is it going to have that wonderfully corny pirate music?
I love that ship.
We also have new costumes for the Mii Fighters. Firstly, we have a business suit, which can be used to give your character a black thin katana, black leather gloves for punching, or a suit or a briefcase gun.
Which is awesome.
It's reminding me of Killer is Dead for some reason.
Yeah, I can see why. You also get the option to. You also have Toad and Captain Falcon for Brawler.
Show me your moves! Wait, that didn't come out right.
That came out as a mixture of the two.
Yes. That was the point.
Captain Falcon armor Toad hat.
Fox comes out with, for the gunslinger, you got a Fox costume with a Fox hat, which looks like you skinned Fox's head and then put him on your own.
That is horrible.
Oh,
You
man.
got a pretty cosplay costume, which for Sword Fighter that lets you use her rod.
Okay.
Veriti from Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yes.
So
And
now we
lastly,
can have.
You have a Hunter set and a Rathalos armor set for Sword Fighter.
This is from the Monster Hunter series, and ooh, there's a reason why they made it only a costume as opposed to a character.
Because the Rathalos...
No, not the Rathalos, the Hunter.
Oh, really?
I've only shown you a little bit of what those fuckers can do, but yeah, I'm perfectly fine and content with them just using a hunting set as opposed to a.
Granted, the
character.
Rathalos armor looks pretty badass.
It usually does. The Rathalos armor is very common from what I've seen, especially in blue.
Okay, so what's going on in the channel, guys?
Well, hopefully... Well, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Vesperia is dead. I'm going to say that right now.
Goodbye.
Legend, come on, man. Seriously?
Giving up so soon, man.
No, I have been dealing
Can we
with...
say this for not the podcast, please?
Fine, but other than that, we have another LP in the mix. We have an LP... should we go ahead and say what it is, Legend?
Go ahead and announce it.
We're going to be doing Golden Sun, aka Exposition the Game.
Yeah, Zero forgot that this game is so heavy with exposition that they're practically chalking out their asses here. Their mouths were not enough.
Correction, guys, you'll be doing the talking out of your asses. Because
No,
remember,
no.
this game has no voiceover.
It kind of does. It does have like little beeping to indicate that it's a different character talking alongside the character portrait.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but we all know you're going to do voices.
yeah, only so long. We had to actually cut at one point because it started getting way too heavy.
Yeah, we actually had to stop mid exposition and say, "Fuck it, our voices are killing us. We're taking a break."
Dang.
I think that was episode
Okay.
3.
So I'm also guessing that you are going to go ahead and do Plague of Shadows as well.
Yeah, that's going to be something later on. As soon as I beat the game myself, I'm probably not going to be able to 100% it for myself, but as soon as I beat the game, Legend and I will probably start working on an LP for that. I already have the title card half done. So, other than that, well, podcast is back in action, as you can tell.
Right.
So expect us every other weekend, as usual.
Mm-hmm. Or so we hope.
So we hope. Hopefully, schedules will permit us. So, I guess with that, this is Death Zero.
This is Leo Force.
This is very sad to see and Let's Play Die. Signing out.
Later, guys.
Bye.